Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the newest episode of Power Spike. It's your boy dGon here, alongside Monty and Dom to break things all down in the world of LoL esports. Not only are we back, LEC is back. Some teams are back to the off season, like Immortals. And some teams are wishing that it was off season already. They got a couple more regular season matches to play. Monty, how's it going, man?
Good. I'm wondering actually if Immortals has played less League of Legends than any other organization in every major region. What do you guys think? Is that possible since the start of franchising? Because they just don't go to playoffs a lot of the time, right? At all. And they're not in LCK or LPL where they play more games. So they may have just in fact played the least amount of League of Legends possible.
And I think that that's a great thing for everyone. So we're happy about that.
They were good at the beginning of the split. The scrim bucks paid off. We got cashed out, and then after that, that was all she wrote. How are you, Dom? How's being overseas now?
It's Germany. I've been here before. It's the same as it always has been. It's Berlin.
What does that mean? Because I haven't been. What does that mean?
It's
What does
just
that mean?
there's never any sun. It's just gray and cloudy
Yep.
all of the time. It's a
Yep.
it's a dour concrete nightmare, but it does have kind of a cool underground scene.
I
Yeah.
can't wait for Dom's vlogs and anecdotes about the underground scene that he's definitely going to go check out while he's there.
Yeah. I'll definitely be in the underground scene. By underground scene, it means that I'll be just co-streaming like the worst LPL matches imaginable for hours on end.
Isn't that just what just happened? Like I was gonna say,
Weibo EDG.
yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Weibo EDG, a Elder Steal into push, into lose, into game 3, and then a stop. And they at least made it convincing and close of a series.
Yep. Pretty much.
Smolder things, which we will get to. But first, before we get to that, LEC's back. This will be our first topic. We had the off season, we had Perks being on the outs, we had KC make the change that no one thought they would make. It's like, okay, you have a gaping hole in the mid lane. Now let's change your coach. And here we go. G2 on top, Fnatic number
And
2. What has
and
changed?
they really justified that decision, dGon, because speaking of a gaping hole in the mid lane that is Saken, it actually doesn't matter how much money you stuff in that hole. You can fill it entirely with gold, as I've learned, and it still will not carry. It will not carry ever.
Yep. I mean, they're the same team as they were before, right? Like you look at the first week of play, feels the same way. There's a bunch of games that it feels like they could almost win, but they have the same exact problems, the same exact macro problems. So I can't wait to hear what the excuse is going to be from the community, because that was apparently what the coach can do in 9 games in 3 weeks. The coach is supposed to be able to figure out all these macro problems. Well, now the team has been together for 3 weeks in spring. They've had a whole new boot camp with another coach, and they still have the same problems. Maybe the players are just not that good at identifying what their win cons are mid in the middle of the game and how to optimize them. And because of that, they just aren't going to be a good mid game team ever. Who knows? I mean, we've seen Dom1, who's a significantly better team with way more talent, suck at mid game for like 2.5 years now. So I don't know if KC is going to be able to get it together, but it's not looking good.
I don't know about that, Dom. Didn't you see the G2 game? Like, they had such a great lead. They've only played 10 matches together against G2, which has been a team together for almost like 40 matches, including international. You just got to give them a little bit more time, Dom.
I'll give them more time. They can have more time.
We're all gonna give them as much time as they need, dGon. I mean, I'm happy with the current state of affairs. It's entertaining for me personally. If they want to torture themselves because Kometo believes in the power of friendship, that it will trump,
Friendship.
the friendship, the
Yes.
friendship.
That's a
Yep.
good one. I love
If
a
he
good pun.
believes if he believes in that, then I believe in you, Kometo. Let it be known, I fully support you in your endeavor. I think you should be loyal for the next 5 years. Just slam a 5-year contract on Saken right now. Do it.
Mm, Well, the bet is out. We'll see if Kometo takes the beto. On the opposite side, teams doing well. Heretics, right? Heretics going 2-1. Vitality going 2-1 as well. Who's been a surprise for you so far in this first week?
I mean, for me, I would say the biggest surprise was Giant X winning a game. Like I thought that they were just gonna be. I thought that they would literally just be like 1-8 with their only win coming over Rogue. But that was a pretty big surprise. I mean, them beating Mad Lions was not expected. I mean, I think Mad Lions is a team that is considered to be elite at this point within the LEC. But I think Mad Lions had a pretty bad week. Could say they look like shit. Who knows?
Monty, how about for you? Who's been the big surprise?
I mean, I think Heretics, we didn't know how they were going to perform, considering that they looked rather deficient by the end of their run in winter playoffs across several positions, and we saw some, I would say, in the context of the past couple of years, some very uncharacteristically bad games out of Yankos towards the end of the winter split. But I mean, I'm not here to proclaim that Zweiru is going to be the next great player, but he had some creative Nico moments that I thought were fun in it, this past weekend. Was he an upgrade over Perks? Yes. I mean, there's not really another way to say that at this point in time. So I'm interested to see more from this roster. Trimby still looks good despite his break as well. So maybe this team, I don't think they're going to win or make the finals, but I have hopes that maybe they can be top 4 within this league. I don't think that's outrageous.
Yeah, it was good to see Heretics have a large enough lead that if Trimby got an itchy trigger finger, I think it was on the rel, and just kind of diving, they were able to still bounce back. Like that's what I liked to see there. And happy Yankos is always a good Yankos. So Heretics doing well. Mad Lions again. I know you touched on it real quick there, Dom, but just I think that's the surprise team there. BDS also didn't look too good as well, but early in split for these two teams that have been there before, that played well last split, and we'll see if they're going to be able to bounce back. So early look here at LEC. And again, with the format changes so rapidly, every match matters. Best of ones. For you guys at home, who's been your biggest surprise over at the LEC in week number 1 of spring? Let us know in the comments, and we'll call out some of the best ones next week. Are G2 just going to win it all? Last question.
Yes.
Yes.
Obviously. It's not even a question. They still look great. I mean, they still look great. Caps is in great form. They can be behind, but they still know exactly their win conditions. They set up some beautiful engages, and they can turn it on whenever they need to, even if they're behind. So this is looking like a very good team right now. Very good.
Yeah, I think they're by far the best team in LEC. It's just one of those things where you look at all the other teams, and unless another team looks seriously scary, it just feels like G2 is going to win no matter what. I mean, you go back to the finals last year, I felt like that was just a below average performance from some of the levels of for some of the members of G2, and they still won pretty convincingly. So when you watch them play against other teams, it feels like if they play on max level, it's guaranteed that they win. But even if like a couple of them are underperforming, they still probably win. Like it takes a miracle from one of these teams to actually be able to contest them. I mean, we'll see with how Fnatic plays. Fnatic still looks pretty sketchy. I mean, the loss versus Heretics was not a good look, just the way that they ended up throwing that game. Just wasn't really a good look. So, I mean, maybe Fnatic is the team that could contest the most because they have the most individual player skill, and Razork is probably the best jungler within the LEC. But outside of them, I just don't see any of these other teams being able to beat G2. I just don't think that the other teams can individually match up to the members of G2.
Yeah, I mean, again, or like a nice lead that Carmine Corp had against G2, just not able to close it out. Which is funny enough, Fnatic played before that and Heretics beat them. So it was like, oh shit, are we about to see both those undefeated teams go down? KC not quite there yet. And we'll see if they're going to be able to get there, as theoretically their matchups should be a little bit easier in the following weeks. I like this comment from the chat real quick. Like, watch out, Mad Lions and KC both at the same rank. This is the first and probably only time in this split that might happen. So soak it on in. Talk all the shit that you can, KC fans. We'll see how things play out in a little bit. Speaking of teams that are just on track to win, like G2, they're playing at their best, Monty. And you know what? We have a new friend and sponsor here on the show, and I want to give them a quick shout out. It's our friends AG1. It's the supplement I trust my body to get my daily needs, which is why I'm excited to welcome them as a new partner here on Power Spike. We got it right here, AG1. You've seen me drink this on the show before because I've just simply put it into my routine in my life because it helps me with my daily dose of vitamins, minerals, pre and probiotics. As I've learned a little bit more about my body and gotten older, it's been a task to get all the supplements on in. But with AG1, taking it daily, it's helped me just consolidate that routine and keep up my gut health. And
it's nice because you don't, if you're taking other supplements, like this gives you the vitamins and minerals and probiotics all in one drink. So I've been taking it daily also for the last couple of months, and I've been very much enjoying it. I do feel, when I take it in the morning, do feel a little bit more energy, definitely, especially like after using this for a long period of time right now. And it tastes surprisingly good. They use like pineapple core and vanilla in there, so it tastes pretty nice. Just toss it in there with a scoop of water. I know, dGon, you and I were talking, like we just throw our creatine in there as well in the morning, which is nice because you can kind of just mix it all up together, which is great.
Yep. And before I did this life here doing the talent stuff, I used to work in cybersecurity, and all the ladies would make their greens drink, and I tried it once and it tastes disgusting. AG1 tastes delicious. Like, yeah, it is so much better than what you think it's going to be. And then it's like, oh, okay, now not only it's like, oh, this is something that I have to do for my own health. It's like something I look forward to every day here, Dom. You've also been trying it. What have been some of the effects that you felt?
Yeah, that was what I was going to touch on, is when you look at it, you'd think that it would have like an earthy taste, that it would taste like really healthier. You'd be like drinking something that was like a spinach flavor or something like that, but it's actually like a fruity flavor. It tastes like you're drinking a fruit drink as opposed to something really earthy. So not only is it good for your gut, but it also is something that tastes like a juice, almost something that is like way more fruity than what you'd expect when looking at it. So I'd say that was the biggest surprise. I was expecting like just one of those health drinks that is healthy, but it was tough to down, but it's actually something that's really easy to drink, and the flavor is pretty nice.
Yeah, I guess throughout my cooking, been lacking a lot of the greens. It's very protein heavy. AG1 covers my bases with the high quality and nutrients that I need. So again, thanks to our friends over at AG1. And if you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1. Get AG1 and a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs so that you could take it on the go, just like this right here, with your first purchase exclusively at drinkag1.com/LFN Legends. That's drinkag1.com/LFN Legends. Thanks to our friends over at AG1. Final words, Monty?
No, that's great. I've been really enjoying it, and they keep re-upping us, so I'm looking forward to doing this for a long time to come.
Yep. All right. Thanks to our friends over at AG1. And with that, let's get ourselves into our first topic of the day. It's a bit of a pun since we started one earlier, the friendship. That was a good one, Dom, to start us off. It's everything is on fire, and it has to do with the little fella that puts things on fire. When you draft it, the first 20 22 minutes, your first 3 dragon fights are generally on fire because you really don't do anything if you draft it. It's Smolder in pro play, how it's shaped everything, how you have to plan around it, whether you're playing against it or picking it. it's creating this vacuum of draft priority. So let's take a look at it. Everything's on fire. It's Smolder. We got to see it at work in this, I guess the series that we were watching right before this in Weibo versus EDG. We got to see Tomo pull it out first, world's first Smolder over in Dig several weeks ago. But now that it's kind of settled in, we've had some patch changes, players are getting comfortable with it. Not only the AD carries, but we've seen it play in top lane, we've seen it play in mid lane before, and everyone's getting used to how it's supposed to play around. How do we feel about it now, Monty?
Well, I'm just grateful that it was announced today, in case you guys missed it, that he is going to be effectively nuked from orbit on 14.6. But I'm very confused by this champion because just by his design, he is basically horrible in game because at the start, he offers no pressure. You cannot skirmish with him, and you lose constantly. Ergo, he does nothing except get dove a lot of the time. And even if that happens, and you're lucky if you can dive him and kill him and slow down the stacks, right? Even if that happens, he still just reaches this ridiculous point in the game. And professional players are now good enough at getting his stacks that even if you hold him behind, you're like praying that you get 25 minutes of gameplay before his queue comes online. Because if he just stacks normally, now we're starting seeing players get 225 at like 21 minutes into the game.
We saw Elf
And it
get it at
just
19.
It's
Did he get it
crazy.
at 19? That's fucking
He had it
insane.
at like 1930. He had like 1930 to 25 stacks. Yeah.
The earliest one I've seen so far was 21 minutes. But yeah, that's really crazy. And especially if you randomly get advantages on the bot side or you're trading very heavily and you're getting stacks up, like it is bonkers how fast you can get this up for professional players. And I mean, I understand that Riot wanted to make this noob friendly, and therefore, if you suck at the game, it may take you 30 plus minutes to get to 225 stacks, but pro players are getting it much faster than is acceptable. And now he is just spraying everybody with like true damage, burn, execute bukake, and that shit is nasty. And
Okay, Jesus.
it's an accurate description of the visuals.
Jesus.
Can I get a huh in the chat? What was that, Monty?
Jesus.
There's a visual for you. There's a visual for you.
Sponsored
Yeah,
by AG1. What the hell?
It's horrible. It's horrible. And like I understand that they're doing serious damage to this champion because they realize their mistakes, but like I feel as though this was somewhat predictable if you were testing the game with professional players.
Yeah, we know they don't do that, or Rek'Sai would never have been released when everything that happened canceled his auto attack. So we know that they're not even playtesting anymore at this point. But I think that the biggest issue with Smolder is what they didn't even address. So the nerfs are all about his Q. Where the thing to me that makes Smolder so fucking broken is the fact that your ult is on such a low CD that you end up just spamming it all the time to clear any single wave where you're ever in trouble. So it's so easy for you to get to your 225 stacks because you just sit there stacking mid lane, and if they ever try to collapse on you, you just ult the wave, you one-shot the wave, and then you just continue stacking from there. So I feel like the easiest way to attack this champion would be to just hurt its ulti cooldown, make it a very significant ulti cooldown so you were incentivized to actually use this in fights and you couldn't just use it easily to clear multiple different waves. But they decided to just go for the nerf the Q route, which I think is dumb. And then the other thing that I hated was when they were talking about it, they said, we don't think the champ's inherent design is flawed. Well, I feel like that is actually the biggest issue, is that the design is inherently flawed. That is my biggest problem, because I feel like either when they nerf it, it's going to be still too good once you get the stacks, or it's going to be useless and it's going to be just terrible. Like, I don't think we land in a place where Smolder is like pickable sometimes. It's like the 6th or 7th best AD carry in the game. If the enemy team doesn't have a lot of early game, you can maybe pick it and you get through. I don't think we land there. I think we either land in a place where it's still considered broken or it's considered fucking useless.
What other champs that are like that right now? Like what champs are in that kind of category?
Well, it was Zeri for a while. It was Zeri for a while.
Well, yeah, Zeri's in the broken category, but Zeri still is getting
Well,
picked.
no, but she was either broken or useless for a while, right?
Mhm.
So they've kind of like iteratively like balanced her back up, but also, I mean, the existence of Smolder is definitely provoking the Zeri usage, because now what we basically see is an arms race. It's like a nuclear arms race in the bot lane of like, we're just going to sit here and build all our nukes as fast as we can and stockpile this enormous armament and then go to war with each other once we have them all. Um, so I mean, look, I think there were also ways to deal with his kit and stacks that don't actually like what I don't understand is like why all the stacking power has to be on his Q. You know what I mean? Like the stacks could apply different things across different abilities. And if W was applying some things instead, that is a significantly easier skill shot to dodge. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so why isn't some of this damage or execute attached to his hitting his W? So you actually have to hit multiple things. Or, I mean, this is another potential option. Like one of the big problems with him right now is he just doesn't fucking auto attack. So like why, what if it was more like a Lux passive where you tag somebody with a, with a debuff and the auto attack triggers it, right? So he can't just like hit one Q across 4 people on your team, apply massive true damage burn, and then get the execute on everybody just from one ability.
I mean, the
So
other
it
problem
just,
is that it procs off rapid fire. So everyone just builds rapid fire
yeah.
third and they just queue you from 1 million range with the rapid fire proc, and it just hits everyone on the other side of the map. Like everyone just figured out a build that's so abusive based off what his kit already is. So maybe making it so the Q doesn't apply on rapid fire, so you'd actually need to like walk into range to Q them. Maybe reducing the splash could be good. I mean, there's so many things you could do with this champion, but I just think that inherently it is flawed because of the stacking mechanic, and I just don't see a world where it has this much power on the stack. Like they don't rework the way the stacks work, and it actually ends up in a balanced spot. It just won't ever be balanced because it's either going to be too easy to achieve or it's going to be too hard to achieve. Like there's just going to be a break point that is super obvious in the game, and the whole game revolves around, is that break point achievable?
Yeah, the chat helped and corrected. Yumi was that, right? And then they did the rework of Yumi ult and how
And they still
Yumi
didn't
can't
balance
heal
it.
anymore.
It
Yep.
still is not balanced. They had to just nuke it out of pro play. They tried to like rework it completely. They tried to shift around power. They're like, okay, maybe it's going to be something where you like have to be attached all the time and you can't just bounce around and heal, and it's going to be shields instead. And it still was actually just way too broken. And they had to just straight up nerf it out of the game. Like they made one of their objectives on a patch to be nuke Yumi so hard it can't be played in pro play anymore. That was the
I
goal of one of their patches.
Yeah, and that was in the post. Like in the post, it felt like such a like a concession. They conceded. They conceded their job. It was like, yep, we're just, we just made some changes. You're not gonna see
Yeah.
Yumi anymore. That
But I
was
mean, the
it.
thing is, like, they did the whole coping. Like, the thing is, they never come out and they're like, yeah, we fucked up horribly. So, like, we are going to fix this. They always come out and they're like, we don't think that Yumi is actually that weak. The problem is Yumi's base stats. The problem is that at level 1, Yumi has 550 health and she can hop out and auto attack. They nerf the fuck out of her base stats, and then it's just like, oh, now the guy is just attached and the champion is still fucking broken. My biggest problem is, like, they always just give you a bunch of bullshit. Like, I don't know, if they watch Pro League close as much as I watch Pro League, you'd see how much of a fucking problem Smolder is. And then they come and they tell you, like, we don't actually think that there's an inherent flaw in the design. It's like, dude, that is literally the whole problem, is that there's an inherent flaw of the in the design. That is literally the biggest problem with Smolder, is that you're not going to be able to balance it because it's either going to be broken or useless based on the stacking mechanic. But they just always cope for like 3 to 4 patches, and then they're like, it turns out there is a problem with the design. It's like, yeah, we fucking knew that the first time we saw the champion, bro.
Yeah,
Like, you don't have to
but
fucking lie to me just to like save face. Just nerf it and get it out of pro play, and we'll be fine.
yeah, but Dom, they need those 3 to 4 patches so people feel justified in having purchased the champion and the associated skins before they blast it into unplayability. They can't just do it the next patch, even if they know.
I guess, man. At least just hurry up with the production of the skin. At least release like 5 skins right when the champion drops and sell them all, and then fucking nerf it to the ground.
Especially Dom, because this was a very hype champion release because they tied it into the Year of the Dragon, Asian, like Chinese New Year. So it was a marketing campaign that was deployed specifically to Asian regions celebrating Lunar New Year, Year of the Dragon. So it was probably did amazing sales as a result, hence the skin they released him with. So they can't destroy people's hopes and dreams that quickly. So they have to just you know, slowly bring it back down.
On that topic, because I've watched LS's patch rundowns and his thoughts on it. How do we feel like these first several patches have been here in season 14?
I mean, it just feels really random to me, to be honest. It just feels like they just massively like overbuff things and then nerf things. It just feels all over the place. I don't feel like they have any idea of like where they want the game to be. So yeah, I just felt like the patch has been super strange. It's like they're just randomly buffed Volibear like into pro play. They're like, all right, this shit's gonna be in pro play. Then they just like made Smolder like this is gonna be the champion that the whole game revolves around. And then they're like changing the stack mechanics on Senna. They're like, oh, it's gonna be like AD. Never mind, it's gonna be support. Never mind, it's gonna be AD. It's gonna be support. Like they just do a bunch of random shit and it just completely alters the way the game is played. It just feels very drastic. Their balancing.
It feels extreme because especially in the mid lane, like we haven't actually had much of a shakeup in terms of champion pools from last year. I mean, I haven't been super upset ever since, like, besides the Smolder shit, I haven't been super upset with the pro meta as it stands. Like, I feel it's been kind of interesting. I think Smolder and Senna for me have been the more annoying parts that I would like to see shifted. And it seems like hopefully they're going to be. I mean, the Smolder one, I think they definitely are addressing. The Senna one, hopefully that will address some of the issues as well. And I think hopefully also that the upcoming crit changes may make some more 80 carries viable. But I think we've seen relatively good champion diversity outside of Cassante as well.
I mean, I just think that the issue is that everything is just like it's just like there's just a bunch of broken shit that you're just going from patch to patch, and it doesn't feel like teams are able to like kind of get better at the game. It just feels like who could abuse the most broken thing on this patch. So first it was double support items. It's like, wait, double support items is OP, so everyone's going Bloodsong at the beginning of the season. They nerf that. What's the next thing? Oh, Cassante is fucking bro. Oh, ADTF just comes out of nowhere. Riot just decides to just shit out ADTF, and it's like you
That's
have to
true.
play ADTF in like 3 fucking roles now for like no reason. The whole game revolves around that. Honestly, the whole game would still be revolving around Azir if there wasn't a bug that like took him out of pro play. That's not Riot balancing. That's just like there's a bug that allows the champion to be removed. So now we get to see a little bit more mid lane diversity. Talia was just overbuffed in 14-3. I mean, I don't know, bro. There's so many issues. I feel like just they decided to go crazy with balancing this season.
The Talia buffs were very weird too, because it's not like she wasn't pro viable at that time. She was still good, and now they just made her better
Brand
for no
was like
reason.
giga OP for no reason. They're just like, Brand is going to be the best jungler in the game. Just kidding. It's not going to be viable at all. Like, bro, like, what do you want the game to be? Like, I literally have no idea what their idea of the game is, because it just feels like they just pick random champions and they're like, giga buff Brand, make his like fucking his passive one shot. Why did clear it like 3 minutes?
Why did they want him to be a jungler? That's the most confusing part to me.
Yeah,
because they needed something. Because wait. Because I'm pretty sure, and Freak might kill me for this, but like I'm pretty sure he was a huge proponent for the Rumble Morgana jungle thing, because he liked the idea of having this kind of like mage that could like just, if you farmed well enough and played through like early junglers, you could walk up to a lane and blow them up and then keep going on your day. And so I think that was like definitely something that I could see him having hands on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just weird that it's super broken. It's like giga OP, then it's just terrible. They just nerf it like out of the jungle. Then they just introduce new champions. They're like, okay, ADTF. Karma is another one, for example, like 14-3. They're just like, Karma is fucking broken. Here it is. Now everyone's playing Karma. Like, I don't know. It just seems so like, yeah, it feels like teams are not getting better at the game. It's just like, what's broken on this patch? Play the fuck out of it. All right, you got to learn Karma. You got to learn ADTF. You got to learn like Volibear now. Like, you have to learn Brand. Just kidding. Drop Brand. Like, pick up fucking Maokai. Oh wait, never mind. Maokai's like getting nerfed. Like, because of support now, Maokai's getting nerfed. It just feels like you're in this constant like panic of trying to abuse the next thing that's broken. And the problem that I have is that a lot of the things that are broken within a role are like drastically different playstyles So it feels like instead of like being able to play your role and get better at what you're doing, it's not like a tank meta or a bruiser meta. It's just a random champion meta. It's like, okay, Udyr is fucking broken. Udyr and Cassante are just fucking broken. Okay, never mind. Like, we're changing things up. Cassante is no longer broken. Now ADTF is broken. Just kidding, Aatrox. Like, Aatrox is gonna be good now. Oh, we Giga Buff Renekton on this patch. He was using before. Now he's really like in there. I don't know. It just feels like whiplash between all the different things you have to learn and all the different play styles. And I just think it doesn't actually help with teams get better over time.
I just figured I'd throw that one out there as we're almost approaching the halfway mark of the season. We're going to have the MSI patch coming out here in about a month. So, yeah. What do you guys think about it at home? Both on Smolder, is it good for pro play? Is
Nobody
it bad
is going
for
to say
pro
it's good
play?
for pro play.
It's cool to have this ticking time bomb in the background. And I guess, we've seen LCS players make it look the timer is a little bit longer than others. It helped my solo queue. I think I was at like 67 win rate. Like I won 2/3 of my games whenever I played Smolder. It was like 50 or 60 games of it. So let us know in the comments below, and then also how the patches have been. I felt like as much as Dom has made some very valid points, it has, as Monty has said, created champion diversity. But are you a person that likes seeing this larger structure on how the season, or at least the split is going to be balanced? Or do you like the fact that it is kind of whack-a-mole? Let's figure out what's the strongest one. Let's go play the Croc in the top lane. All right. That just kicked things off. We're just getting started here at Power Spike. We got our next one coming on up. Good old high key, low key, no key. Because it's starting to move on over now to the LEC. It was a move that the LCS did at the beginning of this split to speed up the segments in between matches. It was pre-recording drafts. So the question is, are you high key, low key, or no key on these pre-recorded drafts? Let's get into it. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, LCS, this last split, or I guess this current split, had pre-recorded the drafts. What does that mean? They do the exact same draft process in the back around like, I think, 15 minutes of the previous game. And the draft is complete. They don't change how it's done. They don't change the timing of it. They don't change any of that. It's the same draft process, which is done before the game. The reason being is that best of ones take a long time to clean the station, set up the next mouse and keyboard, set up the chair height and stuff. That whole turnover takes too long. So they've cut down that time. And to that effect, it has been highly successful. That has been a success. It has cut down the time so that when players are on stage and you see the draft on the broadcast, the draft's already been done. They're actually in practice tool just warming up on the champion they're going to play, which also I think is a cool little wrinkle as well, so that you're not going in cold on a champion. I can imagine, you're on J4 and you're just doing, flash, flag and drag, stuff like that. So that is why it was good. So let's start with you, Dom, as the former pro, been on the stage, gone through drafts. Are you high key, low key, or no key on this change for pre-recorded drafts?
I'm probably high key on this. Like, I was thinking if I'm deciding between low key and high key, but I just like pre-recorded drafts. Mainly just because it makes the day go by quicker. Like, I feel like 5-hour days for 5 games really drag on. Like I like watching League of Legends. I don't like watching the analyst desk. Like a lot of times in best of ones, I don't even feel like analyst desk provides that much, because you pretty much like go into a best of one. You don't really know what the prep is going to be for the week for both teams. Then you just kind of blurt out like, oh, this is what they did last week. Then they do something completely fucking different, and it's like impossible to apply or to like cover all the bases going into that game. And then the game ends, and then you're like, and this is what happened in the game. And then it's like, all right, now fucking 5 minutes of like jerking off. And then we just like get into like the draft 5 minutes later. Then there's like 50 tech issues in the draft. They fucking have to go, do a kid cap pause for 10 minutes. And suddenly you do an LEC day in like 6.5 hours. I'd much rather the day be over in like 3.5, 4, and actually just have things like feel like they're going quickly. And obviously there's like a small downside for pro players because it's like this is not what you're going to be doing at Worlds. But there's been the point that I made on stream when people were suggesting this to me. They're like, isn't this a disadvantage for like the LEC and LCS? It's like, bro, LCK and LPL were playing best of threes all year round to play best of ones, 6 best of ones that determine their entire year. And I never heard LCK and LPL teams complain about how big of a disadvantage they were at versus the LEC and LCS teams. Them being like, we can't win versus them because we play best of threes and we learn how to like iterate between games, but we don't get to do that at Worlds, so we're just fucked. I never heard LPL teams just complaining about how the NA and LCS, the LCS and LEC teams were just too good and they were just unbeatable because of like the fact that their structure was slightly different than the structure that they were playing internationally. So I just feel like that argument is just such a cope argument. It's such a Western like cope argument that we always use to try to like deflect our inferiority.
Well, also on top of that, like to be clear, guys, so in these leagues, 6 out of 8 LCS teams go to playoffs and 8 out of 10 LEC teams go to playoffs. Okay. So you literally have to be bottom 2 in your region to not go to playoffs. All right. And in playoffs, they are not going to do pre-recorded drafts. So the way that you qualify for the World Championship is the teams that do the things that you're going to have to do at the World Championship or at MSI, right? So they're not implementing this system. So you should have this skill heading into MSI, as in the normal skill of here's your draft on stage. You don't get to practice because the controversy comes, guys, because when you pre-record the draft, players know the draft and then they can practice matchups or, you know, research matchups before the game starts. They've got like what, 15, 20 minutes, depending on how long the the previous game takes to end. So the idea is, you know, maybe they can drill some 1v1s or, you know, figure out, you know, think about the matchup a little bit more or shadow box it with their coach, right? But in this case, like, because it's not the actual method of qualification for the international tournaments, I don't think there's that much of a concern. And frankly, I think, you know, I'm low key on this. Like, basically, it's fine either way for me. But I don't think that this is some sort
Yeah, but you watch VODs.
front.
You don't sit
I
there
know.
for 5.5, 6 hours. You didn't have the 7-hour LEC day in the beginning of the
I
year
know.
where you're suffering. So like
Those are
if you're
brutal.
low key, it means that like that's effectively a high key for anyone who has to sit there and deal with all the
That's
bullshit
true.
pauses.
Yeah, look, I'm just in favor of it because here's the truth about any esports production, guys, and this is true of any esport at any time. Every time you don't show gameplay, you lose viewership. And the longer you don't show gameplay, the longer you lose viewership. And the game that every developer, tournament organizer, whoever's running the broadcast, the game they play is how can we lose the fewest amount of viewers during this period while doing our Twitch mandated number of advertisements per hour, run our commercials, and turn over our players the fastest, and or like let's have some segments that maybe will bleed fewer viewers. So objectively, there is nothing that can be done during this time that is better for viewership retention than shortening the breaks as much as possible, which is what they're doing. So it's hard to argue with it, frankly. And I just don't think that it affects competitive integrity to such a degree. I think the trade-off for the minor amount of competitive integrity that it maybe hurts is worth the major upside of it not taking 1 billion hours to get through these matches and having more downtime.
Yeah, I think that's the right thing. I think it actually just teaches just best of ones required this whole thing to happen. Best of threes, you sit on through it. Is there a world where they should do this for best of threes as well? You really can't, because
Well,
after the first series, you have to go back and break down the film, and then you're back into it.
Yeah, but it's faster between, you know, after game 1 and game 2 in a best of 3 because you're not switching out equipment and having players do all their settings again, right? So it doesn't take as long. I also think that in general, you're probably losing less viewership in a best of 3 because once people are already invested in the match, they're going to stick around, right? You're like, I think I mean I at least speak for myself. If I'm watching it live, I'm not like, well, after this first game, I'm just gonna peace out now. Whereas if I'm switching teams, I might be like, oh, Dignitas Immortals, I don't want to watch that shit, and I just turn it off after the game I wanted to watch, right? Um, so it's like if I'm gonna watch the first game, I'm probably gonna see the series out.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Well, I think none of us are no key. What is the argument for no key here, Monty? If I go
You
ahead and
you
throw that
think
out.
that this is a competitive integrity abomination and that it will train the players to be horrible weaklings when it comes to international competition? I mean, far be it from me, to say that the powerhouse of North America has been ruined in international competition by this. Look, guys, objectively, like this isn't going to be the thing. Let's just get best of threes, and it will more than balance out. Like what best of threes are the best thing you can do for North America to potentially easily increase international performance. Now, obviously, there's a bunch of things that are hard to do, like get good players, but playing best of threes and just playing more games on stage at a professional level will help develop players faster. That is true, guys. If Sniper was playing 3x as many games every year, he will become a better player faster. Period.
Yep. I mean, the other no key argument is that you're really addicted to like the analyst desk, and you're like, the analyst desk is what builds the storyline and provides context for the next match, and without that you're going to lose like viewer retention because viewers won't be as invested in the next match because they won't know why they're watching it. That would be another argument for no key, where normally like I just don't see that. I see like everyone just complain about the analyst desk, like, shut the fuck up and start the game. Like that is like
Start the
every single time.
game.
That is every single time the analyst desk is on. But that,
Caster, stop talk, start game.
yeah, that's pretty much everything I see. But it is what it is.
Hurts my feelings. Also, the hard work that generally the desk puts in, and I do appreciate, and as much as we say that, uh, you know, theory crafting and crafting these narratives and the work that goes into that. Obviously, I love that part, but there is a loud enough minority that are like, just start the game, and there's truth to that because the numbers show that, as Monty has said. Are you a no keyer on this? Do you miss the analyst desk? I would say you're bringing up earlier, Dom. Like, oh, this is where the part where like the analyst
But
just
here's
goes
the
and jerks
thing.
off. Dash was
They-
so good
that-
at that. He was so good at being like,
Sure.
all right, let's set up these narratives. Let's set up the story.
Yeah, but
They
but
didn't do
it's
any
not-
of that, guys.
but they still have time to do that. One thing that I liked about what they were doing this past weekend was that they were going through playoff scenarios of the upcoming games while they were showing the draft, like
Yeah.
the ban phase.
That was really good.
That was great. That was great.
More of that. We'll see. All
So
right.
it's like it just got moved. It just got moved to a different, part of the game. And like honestly, in my opinion, the casters actually have a lot of time once you get into game in the first couple of minutes to talk about the implications of the draft. You
Yeah.
actually don't necessarily need to talk about the draft as it's happening in the draft phase. You
And
can
a
use
lot of
that time for other things.
And a lot of times, like what people are forgetting is a lot of times when you're watching the 3-minute commercial break where they play the ads, they're playing an interview live during that 3 minutes. So it's just if you're like not subscribed, you don't have like Twitch Premium or YouTube or Twitch Turbo or YouTube Premium, where you're not actually able to watch that. But if you have one of those things, or you're just watching on like a co-stream or something, you just still get the same amount of content. You just don't get the 3-minute timer ticking down in your face while they play some garbage ass music.
Yep.
That music's okay. All right, let's get out of this one. Let us know in the comments, high key, low key, no key on this pre-draft, these pre-draft moves. Yeah, I guess sorry, I keep going back to it. I know, like, let's move on, but then just if let's say the other team drafts something cheesy, right? They draft something cheesy.
Well, okay.
Instead
so
of like just like launching right in,
mean,
it takes a little bit of time. You get time to process it.
Where this is coming from is because Jensen, it was revealed that Jensen, when he played against Insanity and he played into the mid Zach matchup earlier in this split, that Jensen had some extra time to like prep for the Zach matchup. And so the idea is that the cheese gives you, it lessens the stink of the cheese, if you
Nice.
will. But I don't really believe that either, because I don't think, like, if you're coming in prepared to be, to be Insanity, and you're prepared to play this Zach matchup, you probably spent more than 15 minutes on this thing, and you probably have a much more intimate understanding than anyone's going to get in 15 minutes. So,
I mean,
is
I
it
watched
that
Jensen
big
play
of
the
a deal?
matchup. He didn't know the basics of the matchup in the 15 minutes. They're making it seem like, and then Jensen was able to play the matchup perfectly. He knew everything Insanity was going to do. Bro, he played the matchup like shit. He wasn't even stepping on the Zach blobs when he was laning. Like, he didn't even play the matchup well. It's like, what the fuck is he? He's not some, like, super genius of... It's like, oh, man, without that information,
like,
Zach would have solo killed him a million times. Bro, if you're
Yeah,
a pro
it's not-
player... and you're playing Zach, you're playing Orianna into Zach, and you can't figure out how to fucking play the matchup, please get the fuck off the stage. Please just don't play the fucking game. If you can't figure out the Orianna Zach matchup within 3 minutes of draft or 15, like, if you can't already know how that's gonna play out, FF, just FF. Like, you were never going anywhere if we can't play that matchup.
Well, I mean, look, Humanoid tweeted out earlier, draft done, gonna go check how Chovy plays this matchup.
I mean, this is a joke.
Yeah,
It's pretty
obviously
funny, though. It's
really
pretty funny.
So, anyways, Humanoid, always good for a laugh. Okay, now we're done. This topic is in the ground. Boom. High key, low key, no key. Let us know how you land on this one. Next up, we've got ourselves a classic here. And, we here on Power Spike, we use Discord. And Discord's good for DMs, and we don't really, we're colleagues, we're friends. I've been to both of their places of dwelling, but we don't like chat a ton. But what has dominated the chat probably since late January is the Kwangdong Freaks and their ascendance once they cut the crap and put in Bull. It's great. We're on the Kwangdong Freaks train. Cool. They're making it on in. But now is the time where they find themselves in that segment you never want to find yourselves here on Power Spike. It's time for Fraud Alert. We'll get the other team afterwards, but Kwangdong Freaks is in it. Let's get to it. So,
it's funny.
In the chat.
Okay. We're done with this, right?
So Dom was Dom was talking shit about Kwangdong again, and then he tweeted, "I was at Dune 2 with my wife that night, and so like I came home and went to bed, and I woke up the next morning and I'm like, oh man, they lost."
I was wondering because you
lost
didn't
the
respond very
DRX.
quickly. Monty normally is the responsible one, responds quickly. You did not respond after they got beat, and I was like, oh shit. It's over. It is actually over.
I was at Dune 2. I was actually at Dune 2. Which was it turns out I can tell you guys now, having seen Dune 2 and DRX versus Kwangdong Freaks, Dune 2 is a better use of your time. I will tell you that right now.
So last week I remember I was like, can we please just admit that KDF are frauds and give up on them and never speak about them again? I remember saying on that show that I was hoping they lose to DRX just so that they would be fucking dead. And now that they have lost to DRX, are they now fucking dead, Monty?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Until
we labeled them as frauds.
They're dead until they beat D+ and KT 2-0 next week. That's what I said. I said we had to wait for the rest of the season. But no,
they're
really
gonna lose to Fox. They're gonna lose to fucking Fox.
They are. You take that back. They are not going to lose to Fox.
It's the playoff push.
I'm telling you,
playoff push.
Jung Hoon is gonna run a train on that bot lane.
No,
not the bot lane.
Yes.
Here is the copium. Here is the copium angle, Dom. You ready? You ready for my copium angle? They got smoldered. They would not have lost these games if they just didn't let their opponents have Smolder. They just need to learn how to ban Smolder. They wouldn't have lost to Breon. They wouldn't have lost to DRX this past week. It was all the arrogance, the Kwangdong arrogance, the CV Max arrogance of simply not banning or picking Smolder.
We're blaming
and this is
CV
how
Max for that?
This is how I fucking
Yes,
defeat this narrative.
obviously.
They have played Smolder 3 times and they have lost every single time that they have played Smolder.
Yes,
they can't even
they can't
win when
play
they
it
play
either.
fucking Smolder.
Smolder killed Kwangdong. It's very tragic.
No, they literally were playing broken Smolder. I mean, I guess they're still technically playing broken Smolder.
Yeah.
But they were playing the most broken iteration of Smolder, and they still lost every single time that they picked it. This team sucks. They are trash. They are frauds. Cuz can't carry these guys. Bull is going back to Academy after the split. It's over. It's over for Kwangdong. Give up.
He's not going back. Because definitely hasn't been able to carry this team as hard as he did earlier in the season, which his performance was Herculean at times, I would say, putting this team on his back and carrying them.
Yeah.
And they, once his performance dropped off a little bit, yeah, they haven't been the same team. But Smolder did really fuck them up on both sides. Like they both can't play it and just instantly lose to it, apparently. So I blame here's my theory. If Smolder hadn't been released, Kwangdong's in 4th place.
I thought they were frauds from the beginning. I hate this team.
Yeah, I remember they were popping off and they were the cool team to pick. And you were so skeptical.
Oh, I see right through that shit.
I know. It makes me so mad because here's a good thing. And I feel like they lost because of you, man. Exactly. That's why.
Yep. It was all downhill. Wait, just think about this. Since we started calling them complete frauds, right? So after I started calling them complete frauds, that was after week 4. Yes. Since then, they've lost to Bro twice, Genji. They won 2-1 against Nongshim. That was a close series, by the way. They almost lost to fucking Nongshim. Then they lost 2-0 to T1, 2-0 to DRX, and 2-1 to Hanwha Life earlier this morning.
They took a game off Hanwha Life. That's going to be nice for the tiebreakers later.
Another fraud team. Like, it is what it is. All these teams are fraudulent. Like, I'm telling you, it's Genji can maybe be beat by T1 and no one else can contend versus them. That's it.
This is true. That is definitely a true statement. I mean, the LCK is kind of a shit pile in the middle right now. It's unfortunate. Like, all of the teams that are competing below T1 and Genji are like deeply flawed in various different ways. I mean, I was peeking in on the D+ versus T1 game tonight, and like D+, like, they cannot close the game to save their lives. It is depressing. It is depressing to watch them throw leads.
Yeah, no, but I mean, that's just been their thing. I mean, that's the same problem that KT had. That's why KT versus Dom1 lasted like 70 minutes because no one could figure out how to like win the game. It was really disgusting. So
that series was easily one of the worst that I watched this year. It was terrible.
I've watched some bad series. I mean, I just watched the EDG Weibo series. That was pretty fucking bad.
I was watching that too, waiting for this show.
Yep, it was pretty bad.
All right, Tom, go ahead. Give us on a 1 to 10 scale. Given the fact that, remember, at the beginning of the season, there were no expectations for this Kwangdong Freaks team. And then how high the highs were when they like popped off.
I think we expected them to be better than most of the other bad teams.
Yeah, they're better. They were better than the bad teams.
They got Cuz. Cuz was a pretty major upgrade for them.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that they were like, it depends. Like, so if you were to say, okay, after week 4, when people were saying that they were going to be better, and by people I mean Monty was saying that they were going to be better than like Dom1 and KT, like, okay, compared to that, they're giga frauds. Like, because they just lost to like a bunch of horrible. They lost to DRX and Bro twice after that, so they're giga frauds from there.
You just wait till they're 2-0 against both KT and D+ by the end of the split.
My God.
But if you were to go at the beginning, I would say that they're like 6 out of 10 frauds, maybe like 4 out of 10, maybe like 4 out of 10. I could even give them. Like, they're not super fraudulent compared to the beginning, compared to like how high Monty was after they were 6-3. They're like 9 or 10 out of 10 frauds. They're fucking really fraudulent for a 4th place team.
Dude, it was really that double Breon last week that hurt the most.
So boom.
Yeah, the double Breon, that was perfect, because that was like that was that week right after. Like, we did Power Spike, and it's like the next day they play against Breon, and then we just saw them just instantly get fucking clapped.
I was feeling pretty good, and they would be they would be like what 8 7 right now. If they'd actually just won those games.
Yeah, if they won against like DRX as well, that would just be like a 9-6. They'd be chilling. But
Yeah,
they didn't, and they're
exactly.
complete frauds.
It's sad. I just wanted there to be some level of unpredictability within the LCK because it
Never a
was
thing.
exciting to. Yeah, true.
It's literally never a thing.
It is never a thing. No, I mean not since like Griffin, I guess.
Yeah.
I suppose KT getting their shit together in summer last year was pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Nobody expected them to be able to like challenge Gen G and T1, and they did that pretty effectively until they collapsed in playoffs. But I think like Kwangdong, especially because it's another CV Max led team, like, and Bull had a pretty good debut for a guy with zero expectations. You know, it was fun. It was fun while it lasted, but I do agree that it's been pretty depressing since the end of the first round robin / start of the second round robin.
It was so frustrating because it was a bro winning streak. It was just at the cost of probably the best fun storyline of the LCK.
It was really just the fucking worst too, because the thing about Brion is that they are just so bad that they looked completely hopeless. I think, after the first 4 weeks, there was very legitimate concern that they might actually go 0-18 because they just looked like a level below everyone else. Just like they were in some sort of LCK sub basement level.
Yeah, and then Edgar's like, "Hey, you on the street? Do you play support? Come here. You look really tall. Hey, which AD carry are we using? We using Samber? We using Envy? I got another guy, Enosh. He's there too. Like, which one? He's texting Umpty. Which one are we using? that shit's funny.
And then Smolder got released. So Smolder really saved them. That's the story. That's the story. Smolder saves Brion. Smolder, the savior of bad teams.
All right. So Dom has rated it Giga to 4. What is your number on how fraudulent the freaks are?
Well, I think after the KT and D+ wins that they managed to achieve, like then losing both matches in 1 week to Brion, like I get you fuck up the first one. It was the second one that was so sad. Like the first one,
the second one was bad.
The second one was the worst. So yeah, it's pretty high after that. You can't just go around beating D+ and KT and like present yourself as potentially the 4th best team in this league and then just get clapped by Brion not once but twice in the same week. That is fucking pathetic. So
also, shout out to the scheduling gods for like doing it this way, right? They played 3 days apart.
It was the most evil way you could have done this.
Yep.
How do we really ruin someone's week? Yeah, let's make them lose to the undefeated team twice. All right.
Or the not undefeated, the team with no wins.
Sorry, the winless team. Yeah,
the winless team.
This team's supposed to suck. Oh wait, never mind. Now I guess we suck. All right, our season's over.
The very defeated team. The most defeated team.
What do you guys at home call teams that are the most defeated, winless? What is the best way to say it that really just crushes the soul? Let us know.
TSM Worlds 2020.
Oh, no. What was the guy's name? 2020 Mad Lions Shadow? Was that who it was? Yep. Shadow was the jungler. Yep. Oh no, that was it was a Shadow type performance. There we go. All right, another team that is fraudulent on here. You called it, Dom. Are our friends over at Ninja in Pajamas, Rookie and the OMG boys. They starting to hit the road bumps after having a great score to the season, but as you called out, their competition was getting a lot harder. So why don't you give us the context here on NiP?
Aki's on the team. He's been doing Aki things. I've been watching him do Aki things for like 3.5 years now. He's continually doing Aki things. I mean, they just don't have a jungler. Maybe if Tarzan joins this team, they could be something. I just wasn't very hyped on this team because of just the fact that their support is Joel. He hasn't been like anything special. He's been in the league forever now. He hasn't been anything special for a while, and Aki I just don't think is like a top tier jungler. So I think that when you don't have those good pieces to bridge the team together, bridge the lanes together, I think it's really hard for your team to be top tier. So I just was not very hyped on NiP. They are worse than I thought they would be. I thought they would be like a convincing like 5th through 6th or like 4th through 6th with like Weibo and LNG. Weibo and LNG are somehow even more fraudulent. FPX is better than expected. Like WE is actually looking like they're in better form than NiP these days. I would love to see how a series looked. I mean, Weibo in their disgusting form 2-0'd NiP. So AL beat them, FPX beat them. NiP is really fraudulent, but they still might end up like making playoffs at a pretty good standing.
NiP's last 2 games are against BLG and Top as well. So, they haven't even played arguably the 2 best teams in the LPL yet. So their record is definitely inflated. They're going to end up with something, but even Rookie hasn't looked as amazing as he has in many other of his past seasons too. He's been
he's playing with Aki. He makes everyone look worse. Like some junglers make everyone look better. Like no matter who they play with, they always make their players look better. Like Inspired, for example, makes his laners look better. That's like the opposite of what Aki does. He just makes everyone look like shit.
Well, here's the thing. Like Rookie has been a player that all of us have talked about for quite some time. It's like let's get him to Worlds, get him a team around him. Let's build him up. Is it time? Is Father Time starting to catch up to Rookie? Has his talent been wasted on these rosters?
Nope.
I mean, his talent has definitely been wasted on some of these rosters, but I don't think I think he can snap back into form if he wants to, right? I don't think this is the end of his career. He's not just going to fade out, I don't think, from here.
Because, I mean, he's been in that elite, or I guess like at low, if you're going like A tier, B tier of like mids, he's been A tier to B tier for a while, no?
It's been like S tier recently. I mean, he was MVP of the entire league in 2022. Like he was one of the best players. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think Rookie is like a type of player where I feel like he's just somebody who has like trust issues at this point. Like it feels like he doesn't fully commit to things. He's been on his own so long in these teams that it just looks like he's like second guessing things a lot of the time. He doesn't full commit to things the way that you see some players do. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like Rookie is still good. I mean, if you put him on a top team, I mean, he is somebody who like in lane could contend with like the best in the world. Like he is just really, really insane when it comes to laning. I think that his map play is not as good as some of the like elite mid laners in the LPL, and his team doesn't really set him up to succeed. I think he's somebody who's gone from being like good no matter what, like being like world class, one of the best mids in the world no matter what, to like now if you want him to be world class, you need to set him up with players that are actually like good at covering his weaknesses. And that's why I think a player like Tarzan could be so good for him until he gets internationals and Tarzan just starts running it down on purpose because he's Korean and he wants LCK to win worlds. Outside of
secret agent Tarzan.
Yeah, until Tarzan becomes a secret agent, he'll do well in LPL.
Well, we talked about the different players and the schedule, the friendly schedule that they've seen. We've kind of forecasted the wins here, probably 2 more wins before the 2 more losses against BLG, and who's their last one? Was it Top? Yep, Top. So where do we rate them on the fraudulency scale, given the fact that they were first place for quite some time, sitting at that like 5-1 mark? I think I remember for a while.
Our 5-1 was like never. I mean, I feel like the thing about LPL is strength of schedule matters so much. So like, I predicted them to be like 4th through 6th. I think it's still realistic that they end up like 4th through 6th. Like, AL's looking kind of bad. Maybe WE passes them. WE's actually been looking like a more cohesive team. I'm not a huge believer in IG. I mean, IG still has JDG, FPX, Weibo, OMG, so IG could lose like potentially 3. I mean, they could technically lose all 4. I would say that like maybe they're like a 4 or 5 fraudulency. Like maybe they're slightly worse than where they should have been predicted.
That seems fair. WE also has a much easier strength of schedule. Like they play top, but they also play they have to play one more game than NiP does, but they play Rare Atom, Ultra Prime, Thunder
DT.
Talk, and LNG. Yeah. So I mean the strength of the schedule for WE does seem like they are in a position to overtake NiP potentially, and be like a game up, basically.
When Dom, so last year you were on the OMG train.
Yeah.
Is there a team that is like equal to that level of joy that you got from being an OMG fan at that time? Because obviously,
nowhere close. I mean, the only thing that was close is like watching T1 lose to Gen G. Like that's probably the only thing that like makes me experience that level of joy. But outside of that, no, there's nothing else that brings me like joy like that. Now I'm just like
Yeah.
preying on like certain players' downfalls. I think that's like really what's bringing me the most joy right now.
that's the new joy meta, the new Dom joy meta. I was just
Which
trying
player
to.
is?
I mean, it depends, right? Like I love watching T1 lose.
There's just
I like
so
watching.
many.
I like watching KT lose. I really like watching KT lose. Like
Me too.
watching like Pioshik lose is like
That's my
Thank-
that's my fetish.
yeah, thank God. Like watching Pioshik lose, it's pretty fucking nice. I'm loving watching KDF lose, but that's because of Monty. Like, so I am watching. I do like watching KDF lose. Like I was going into Gillies' room because he was watching LCK and I was watching LPL and I was like watching LCK on second monitor. And as soon as like KDF, like going into that game 3, it's like, damn, like Kazan Viego, that's one of his one tricks. They can win. And then when they got like 20 fucking 2 shit stomped, like just get absolutely obliterated, I was like, yes, nice. Like KDF is losing. So yeah, that's pretty nice. Yeah. I mean, I like watching IG lose. I'm kind of an IG hater because IG randomly has people that are like fans of IG for no reason that think that they're better than they are. So I like watching IG be like more like they have a more like real people have a more realistic expectation of what IG is because their record, like they're top 4, but their top 4 does not look anything like FPX's top 4. And IG still has to play against FPX. They have to play against JDG. They have to play against Weibo. Like they could end up losing a bunch more matches. People just saw IG beat BLG and they just lost their mind. They're like, what the fuck? Are they just the best team in LPL? It's like, no, bro, they won one fraudulent series. BLG hasn't lost a series since then. They probably won't lose another series. Yeah, for the rest of the split, they play against Ultra Prime, Weibo, OMG, NiP. BLG is probably just going to like end 15-1 again and be one of the best teams in the world. That's what I would assume.
Yep.
Can't wait for MSI.
Oh yeah,
All
watching Mad lose. No, it's true. Like I was just thinking about Eastern regions. Yeah, watching Mad lose. I love watching Mad lose. I love watching Mad lose. Like I don't know. It's so nice seeing them, have a more, just watching them lose games that show that there still are big issues with how the team actually plays.
Yeah, them making it to finals was a great run for them, but also just a lot of ammo for I guess the folks that just wanted to be fanatical and not really think about those issues. Or
It's
that
very
Adam
unlikely
didn't
that
show
Mad
up.
Lions with this roster is going to be able to replicate that feat again, because remember their entire playoff run was like mildly fraudulent from the Fnatic game into the Adam benching, and then they just got clapped in the finals. So,
Yeah.
let's just say like teams aren't going to lose to themselves twice in a row again.
Sag Lions. Yeah. Let us know the fraudulency scale on Kwangdong Freaks in the comments below. Oh, bull. It's more like Andal. Fucking Andal.
Hill's playing pretty well though for a while, actually. I was surprised.
Yes, he was on a tear. Now he's sucking. He's gonna get replaced. Last segment of the day. It's time for the Galaxy Brain Club as we bring it back to North America. LCS regular season is closed. We need to vote for our All-Pro, our MVP, our rookie, and predict the playoffs. So Galaxy Brain Club, it's time for the LCS playoffs. So as always, I have the voting power.
It's actually really kind of exciting for rookie of the split.
Yeah.
I mean, we got some actually like it's a competition this time around.
And it's
There
actual
are
rookies.
rookies.
Yeah,
Well, there
that's
are
why.
rookies, but there are also multiple rookies that are performing pretty well. So I think it's fun.
The campaign to get XU on the ballot, I think fell upon deaf ears. Maybe we'll shoot another tweet out to the commish because I haven't received the ballot yet, but XU should be considered a rookie. And given his performances near the end, I think he might have talked himself into a top 3 spot. Given the fact that Immortals just kind of fell off. But let's start there. Give me your rookie of the split, your MVP, and your all pro.
Yeah, my rookie of the split is definitely Sniper. I mean,
It's him or Masu, right? But I think Sniper edges him out.
yeah, I think Sniper had so many like big games. Also, like top lane. The thing is, when FlyQuest has a bad game bot lane, they normally end up being fine. Like, and they can win those games. And that happens actually pretty frequently. It's not like their bot lane is ultra consistent. Whereas if Sniper has a bad game, normally the game is completely lost. So I feel like Sniper is just doing a lot to get his team leads and just give himself like agency in the game. He's also, playing counter picks. He's playing into counter picks. Like he's really like making his name in the LCS, which I think is really good. So Sniper is my rookie of the split, and then for my MVP, I would probably just go Inspired. I just think this guy is like either the best or the second best player in the LCS. Like if I were to just say like who do I think are the best players, like I think JoJo is insane. I think JoJo's probably the best player, but he just like the team is really fraudulent, so you can't put him as an MVP. But I think Inspired is also really fucking good. He just makes almost no mistakes. When you look at his game from like a jungler perspective, like his game knowledge of where to be, how to play games out is like almost perfect. He almost always knows exactly what he should be doing in the game, which is rare. I mean, normally we don't have players that are this good at reading the game and just making plans and executing them and understanding how to get advantages in pretty much every single game he plays. And I think he's the main reason why FlyQuest was in first place.
Monty.
Yeah, I think it's Inspired because you can see also how much work he has to do to repair some of the mistakes that happen in their bot lane a lot of the time. And even when a lot of his lanes are doing individually badly, he is often generating immense pressure and having significant leads. And like he has been great. I mean, he's really good at pathing. And I think this is a hard team to play with as a jungler because Masu and Busio make a lot of rookie errors and like can make the game state very difficult for him to play. Bwipo is Bwipo, and so Bwipo will do Bwipo things in top lane and make your life fucking difficult as well at times. Sometimes he makes your life very easy, but sometimes he makes your life really hard. And so I think it's hard. Like it's a credit to Inspired that this team has been doing as well as it was and ended the split in first place. So I think he's a huge part of this roster. He probably does deserve the MVP.
Give me your second and third votes because I feel like this is where a decent amount of the conversation is. I think we're all kind of unanimous on Inspired and his impact on his team, on the league, the pressure he exerted on other junglers. But who's
it's probably
your 2-3?
it's probably like JoJo and then maybe Quid after that.
Yeah, I think about players like River and Quid, but I feel like the team overall has been so solid of 100 Thieves that there's not anyone that like sticks out to me. Like I don't think that River has like he hasn't had like that insane of a split when you consider how well Sniper's been playing and how consistent Quid has been. I think about impact on TL because I feel like impact literally just has to play well every single fucking game. Like his carries are so unreliable,
and he has to play Jax or like actually play carry champs a lot of the time too.
Yeah, and even then, like his team is just running it a lot of the time. So I feel like impact is somebody who's super valuable to his team. Without his stability, I think this team would just be terrible. And I also think of B-Voy. I think B-Voy on Shopify Rebellion, like he had to do well almost every single game in order to win for that team. So when I think about like the literal like most valuable players to their team, I think Impact, B-Voy, and JoJo would be the next ones that I would choose. It just for me, it's hard to give like MVP to a player like JoJo when he's on a team with such insane players on paper. Like obviously his teammates haven't performed that well, but if you're playing on Cloud9, I think that you can't get MVP when your team is like middle of the pack, or like third place, but like a kind of fraudulent third place, considering how good the players you're playing with are individually.
I like that point because there have been times, I think we go back to maybe it wasn't MVP, but it was definitely all pro when that NV team, do you remember, Dom, that NV team was
With
so
Lyra?
ass and Lyra was very like he was
Yep.
dragging the team across the finish line, but that's not the same situation. This is not a super team that struggled but still had one star player. That was a suck ass team with one star player that dragged them across the line. So there aren't very many cases like this where that kind of team still has the MVP on it. Is there? I don't know if there's an example. Chat, you can let me know if there is one. I can't think of one off the top of my head. Chat is Sven was the Berserker Whisperer. We're talking about Berserker maybe, but those teams are all really great. So I agree with that. Give me your 2-3 for rookie of the split. Again, not a ton of choices, but still one of the more interesting rookies that we've rookie battles that we've had this year.
I mean, I'd probably
think
go
Masu.
Castle.
Yeah, see,
Really?
that's what I'm saying.
Alright.
It's interesting.
Yeah,
I think Masu has been very impressive for a rookie, at least in his mechanical play.
yeah, I would probably have Masu third, and I would have Castle second. I think Castle did a lot of work individually. I think another interesting one is I think Isles played pretty well on Dignitas. He obviously had some mistakes, but I would say that he was overall better than expected.
This is crazy. Am I crazy? I'm gonna vote, and I'm gonna be the crazy one. Everyone's sleeping on Meech. Like Meech is like an older rookie, but like a rookie to the LCS nonetheless. And I felt like
Meech
he
is the fourth most important player on his team.
Yep, that's what I think too.
Although it is impressive that he has been able to lane with Ayla. That's impressive.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. That's a terrible argument. Okay, cool. All right.
Yep.
Well, I'll
Look,
figure out what to do with these votes.
I just think, if I even at the AD carry position, if I think about Masu versus Meech, it's like Masu all day. So it's hard for me to justify him being in the conversation.
And then let's do all pro. Where are we sticking all the fly? It's not all FlyQuest. So who is this the most diverse all pro we've had in a while?
Yeah, probably.
I would take Impact inspired JoJo. I guess. Ooh.
Yeah, right.
I would probably take. I mean, if I were to do it, I would probably go. It's
B-boy,
weird, right? Because I
maybe?
think that Impact might be like MVP, like one of the most valuable players. But I think Bwipo like has an argument
Yeah.
for All Pro. But I would go like Impact inspired Quid. I think
Quid!
has probably been the best mid laner. And then after that, I guess 80 carry. Oh, 80 carry is so bad. Like I don't know who we take in 80 carry.
That's why I just stopped. I was like,
Yeah, 80 carry is just so fucking terrible. And then support is also really terrible, bro. Like it's so hard to find like a AD support that you like. I mean, you can't. I refuse to give it to Berserker based off how he played this.
Well, I
this
think
split.
you just have to give it to B-Boy, honestly. Like, I mean, I think you'd give it to JoJo over Quid. I think JoJo on a more functional team, and he has been the standout member of Cloud9. You can see that he still, really has a lot of good game sense and mechanics. So I think I take JoJo, and then I guess I would give it to B-Boy maybe. But support, I don't even know
Support
where
is
to
so
go on
rough.
this
I
one.
mean, I landed on Huhi.
Yeah, that's what I was
Like,
gonna
before.
say. Is it Huhi
And it's
because
like-
of his performances in the middle of the
Well,
split?
Yeah, I mean, it's like because Huhi had like some good games. I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like Ayla's so rough, but he's also somebody like I can't give it to Vulcan. They're dying too much in
Busio?
lane. I think Busio was so hit or miss throughout the split.
They were all hit or miss.
Yeah, it's like impossible. It's actually just impossible. Just flip a fucking coin.
All right, and then how about this? Since it's so rough out there, we have like our like third team MVP vote. like not make playoffs in B-Boy. Do you think Eddie sneaks onto the ballot? Will Tactical get voted as third team AD carry?
Hell no. Hell no.
Or Ole? Will Tactical or Ole sneak into the ballots?
No, I don't think so. I don't think they can.
Maybe Ole.
Because it's not
Maybe.
good. Yeah, I don't know.
I would give it to like, I mean, the way I see it is like Huhi, maybe it's like Huhi, Ayla, Isles, or Huhi, Ayla, Busio. If you're like you're really against like, you don't like Isles, or like Huhi, Isles, Busio. I mean, I would say that Ole is probably like the 5th best support the split. Like, he had some like pretty fucking useless games. I mean, he also had some good Bard games, I guess. I don't know, man.
Where's Core? Is Core just like 4th, 6th?
Core is bad. He's like probably 5th or 6th.
And then
Vulcan was not good either.
Vulcan was getting back used to these colors again because they made him do the documentary, and just him and JoJo were on the apology tour. That was so funny. I brought that up with him, and he was like, "Oh shit, I didn't realize that we did that. It was just because we're Canadian."
That's actually good.
He's so quick with it at all times.
I mean, I can sniff out Canadians because of the sorry shit instantly. In real life, you know what I mean? As soon as somebody starts doing that, I'm like, "Are you Canadian?" Like, yes, every time.
Stop apologizing.
You don't need to apologize. You didn't do anything. You didn't do anything wrong.
Well, it's also they say sorry instead.
That's true. But also people from Minnesota do that. That's what Doa says. It's very fucking weird.
Yeah, pisses me off.
Sorry, Minnesotans that watch. Mid is JoJo Quid or Quid JoJo blank. Jensen?
You probably have to put Jensen, but it doesn't feel like. I mean, the thing is, it's like Jensen did perform like that. There's very obvious flaws to Jensen's gameplay. Like, I mean, he's pretty much like a Zero Oriana 2-trick, kind of. But
what, you don't like his karma?
Yeah. He was like karma.
His karma is fucking bad.
Okay, I think we've tackled everything. Wait, inspired River blank.
Inspired River. I don't know, man. It's like
this one seems the most clear to me compared to the other ones.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's inspired River Umpty.
I think
it's
Umpty's
probably
bad.
Umpty or, I think it's Umpty or Blabber.
I think it's XU maybe over Umpty. I mean, you could give it to Blabber. I really don't like putting like C9 players on All Pro when it's like they scratched into 3rd when all their teammates are like, it's so much harder for XU to look decent based off how like the players he has to play with compared to like how Blabber looks with his players. Like when you look at the team, right, and you look at the score, it's like Blabber won 2 more games than XU did with a team of like he can go to any like with like the best play. Like that's my whole problem with putting Cloud9 is I just feel like they just didn't have to do anything. Like they like tripped over and got 3rd place. It's like the most fraudulent 3rd place I've ever seen in my life. And half their games don't even like half their games are fraudulent wins where they shouldn't even win and they end up winning.
This is. I mean, this split. Chat has just kind of like given me a microcosm of what it's like trying to vote this split specifically. When I asked for jungle, people were like, contracts? Comment 1. Contracts, not that good this split. Comment 2. Contracts has played well this split. Like literally, just like there were games where he played well. There are also games where he didn't play well. That's literally everyone except the first pro all pro team guys. Like even Sniper in the games where we remember his like solo kills and doing something amazing, like I would say like 7 of those games, right after he does that, he dies. And we just forget that because he solo killed someone or like 2v1 someone. Like he does that shit all the time. And it wasn't until I sat down and chatted with the coaches where they're like, yeah, he's great. And we love him for that. but he does some dumb stuff right afterwards. And then when I talked to him afterwards, he's like, yeah, I do some dumb stuff, but I'm learning. Great rookie, great mental for the game. But like, that's everybody. This whole split has been that. So now it's just kind of getting into the margins of that. So that's why I wanted to bring this topic up, because it does feel like it is the most parity that we've had, whether for good or for bad. And so it's nice to have that compared to when we're talking about LCK, where it's like, yeah, okay, 1 and 2 are on their thing, and then here's Hanwha Life by themselves, and then everyone else. So nice little change up here. Speaking of ranking, it's time for our predictions. Where are we going? 1 through 6. We've got our 4 matches, 2 matches set up, 4 matches this week, starting Thursday. Just in case you didn't know it's Thursday, like the broadcast said, Thursday, because they probably cut the person that makes all the ads to let everyone know it's Thursday. So everyone on the broadcast said Thursday.
They did cut many, like their graphics department from LCS. Those were among the people laid off, as I understand it. Not joking, like actually they laid off broadcast graphics people. So
so what matches? What is our predictions for these matches? We got FlyQuest versus TL, then 100 Thieves versus Cloud9 first up.
I actually just can't predict. I actually just can't predict against Cloud9 here. Frankly, like I know they've looked like shit. I know that they shouldn't be winning games. Like the last game they played against Team Liquid, the Shopify game, like they look like absolute garbage. But I just can't take this 100 Thieves roster in a best of 5 playoffs game in good faith. Like I can't do it. I can't. There's too many like newer players on this roster. There's too many unknowns. The veterans of Cloud9 are so tested. I think this is a Cloud9 win. I do.
Monty, you were my hope. I thought you were going to be the one pulling for Quid and the kids. Like I thought you would be the one. Let the kids win. Let the kids play.
I think 100 Thieves has been the better team this split, right? But I just think that playoffs are fundamentally different. And I think once you get into a best of 5 and have this pressure environment and have a chance to make some adaptations, that this team is going to pull through. I don't think they're going to win, but I do think that they should do well against 100 Thieves.
Dom?
Yeah, I think that they're going to win against 100 Thieves. I think it's just so easy to go into playoffs and be like, all right, Fudge, we saw what you could do during the whole regular season. You are shit. Play Udyr and Cassante every fucking game. If those are down, you're playing Renekton or some bullshit. And just weak side and don't die to sniper. Just weak side, just don't die to sniper. We're going to have Jojo on a carry. We're going to have Blabber do his thing. Bot lane, just play some cohesive bot lane combo, and we will just win because they're going to make up mistakes around objectives. That's it.
And that's the thing is 100 Thieves, once they get out of lane, they still do make a lot of like silly bullshit plays. Like their macro is not great. They do have the throw in them. And I just have to believe that this is the week that Cloud9 actually gets it together. I kind of hope it isn't. Like in a way, dGon, I hope I'm wrong, because it kind of would be fun to see 100 Thieves at MSI. It kind of would be. But I think this Cloud9 roster, and when push comes to shove and they actually have to get their shit together and they're facing a playoff run, I think that is where they put aside whatever stupid arguments they've been having or personal hangups and just get the fucking shit done.
I mean, look, since the big player break or whatever, the big break when VCT came, they are 4-1. It's not like a good looking 4-1, but they're winning the majority of their games.
It's terrible looking 4-1.
Yeah.
Except for the FlyQuest game. They played very well in the FlyQuest game.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is they can beat a lot of these teams when they don't even play well by just like reducing the amount of variance in the game.
You just catch the throw eventually. Yes. You just catch the throw.
Yes, like that's the thing is they don't need to do anything crazy. It's very easy for them to just play, like, because if you think about how they were losing games earlier in the split, they were playing like these Lilia Nar fucking Orianna comps, where it's like, how the fuck do you engage? Ever since they started playing more real comps, they were able to just start winning more games.
You've changed my mind here, Monty. I don't need to see River go to a MSI again and get smacked around. So,
Hey,
all
do you
right.
remember? I have a question for you. Do you remember Playoff River from last summer?
Holy, he was bad.
Yeah.
Remember when he became like a Jarvan one trick for no reason when it wasn't even meta?
Yeah. He's doing his Malrong impression. All right. Well, okay. So we have Cloud9 there. Fly TL. All right. That's just a Fly win. How can TL make this difficult for FlyQuest? How about that? Can they make it difficult for FlyQuest?
FlyQuest is a significantly better team. And unfortunately, if you're going to beat FlyQuest, you probably should attack them through the bot lane. And Team Liquid, well, I think their bot lane may not be really capable of doing that, dGon. So I feel like it's also just a bad matchup, frankly.
Sorry, TL fans. Any hopium for them, Dom?
Nope. I mean, there's like a little bit of hopium. Maybe like they can play like A-Soul Ziggs. They can play some weird champions mid and they're able to just like win the series through that. That's pretty much all I can see. I can see like maybe their champions are too weird. Maybe they get like Smolder A-Soul comps or they're just able to come in with enough champions that make it so FlyQuest has like difficult games and they can outcomp them. Maybe they can attack Jensen's champion pool and he ends up being a liability. That's kind of what you're looking for, but I just don't think that they're that good of a team. But I could see, I guess I shouldn't say there's no hope. I would give it like 30% for TL.
That high, huh? Wow.
Yeah, probably 30%. I mean, I don't think any team is that good in LCS right now.
I like that. I like the justification of all that and the flippiness of it. And that's what we've been enjoying about LCS this year. Is there a world where NRG make it to week 2? If they play Cloud9, probably not. If they play 100 Thieves, maybe. But like, is there a world they make it to week 2?
I have been so fucking unimpressed by NRG. Like, with the amount of bullshit throws that happen in LCS nearly constantly, the fact that this team is on the has like a losing record is is appalling. Like, especially since Cloud9 has been far weaker than anticipated.
Monty,
Oh.
you good?
Monty
You
is
good?
just
All right, yeah,
dying.
no, I got
He's
a cough.
dying.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
dying when he's
I'm
talking
good, I'm
about
good.
energy. Holy.
All right, we gotta
my
stop
voice,
talking about
my
LCS.
voice, my voice took on the spirit of NRG this season. That's if that is the vocal equivalent of NRG's League of Legends play. But yeah, look, I think Energy really has been so underwhelming, considering everybody just wanted to tout them as one of the greatest NA rosters ever created because they beat G2 and got into quarterfinals at the World Championship. But it just turns out we were watching a Zeka-esque temporary glow up, and now they're experiencing a Zeka-esque expected performance within the LCS. This team should never, with this roster, have reached those heights, right? And they're right back where they belong. They might actually be under where they belong. Maybe they should be a 50-50 team. That's how it feels. Like, you look at that NRG roster, you're like, that's a solid 50% win rate team right there. So they're just making up for the win they had last year by going under 50% now. This is not a roster that should be competitive against some of the other rosters in LCS.
Yep. The Zeka-esque 2024. Oh man, it's just so nice. It was just so nice, Monty, for a little while to be able to say NA better than
look,
EU because this team.
look,
And now it feels
look,
like it's over, dude.
Energy had one fucking job, dGon, which is like, don't go 0-2 in the last week and then lose your tiebreaker to Dignitas. Like, they had one fucking job. Why can't they beat Shopify Rebellion and 100 Thieves? Why can't they do that?
That was a big tilter.
Yeah, I don't know. 100 Thieves is just too good.
Shopify Rebellion is just too good.
Yep, pretty much.
I love Shopify. Okay, Shopify is definitely my guilty LCS pleasure. Like, that team is fun as fuck to watch, even if, I'm sad we're not going to see them in the playoffs because the cheese would have been real. I would much rather see Shopify Rebellion in the LCS playoffs than NRG. I wish NRG didn't fucking make it.
Sure. And I think a lot of that has to do with the way that they draft because of Insanity, because of B-Boy. I don't think this team stays the same. Like, Shopify has to make a move. It feels like they have to make a move somewhere.
I don't feel like they can make, like, how much money do they have? Are they going to be able to make moves? I think they'll probably just keep
true.
it.
All right. Another year of 2017 spring MVP candidate, Fake God, who I have a really good interview with. I'll get that one up here very soon.
I mean, if they could get Licorice, maybe that's a move.
That's right.
There.
Prices are going down. Revenge, come on back. We'll give you a scholarship. It's write-offable if we do it that way. All right. Dignitas against TL. Now, because Dig won that tiebreaker, theoretically they get the easier match. How do you feel like these guys match up for Sunday's game?
I feel like Dig is so easy to prep against. Feels like they just have to play like Talia, and with it down, it's just not even close to like the same level of team. Yeah, I don't really believe in them. I think Tomo is just bad. I think he's probably like the worst AD carry as well. So I just don't think Dig can win a best of 5.
Monty.
Yeah. Look, I was never high on this Dignitas roster in any conceivable fashion. Look, I also hate Team Liquid, but the thing about Team Liquid is they often at least have some good moments of macro in their game. Like they are legitimately good at cross mapping, right? That is something that they are good at. Are they good at getting free Dragon Souls when they play against Cloud9? No, I don't know what happens in that game. But they've also had arguably some of the best macro games that have been played in the LCS this split. The first game against Cloud9 was a really good example of that. So I think like you look at this team and you say, well, they understand their deficiencies, so that's why they're going double dragon and just trying to wait it out until the end of the game. But
It's not even that.
I think
It's literally like you just need APA to play a champion that he knows how to play. And it's like, it turns out that the champions he knows how to play are like Ziggs and Aurelion Sol. So then you just end up playing Ziggs and Aurelion Sol when they're up. Like that's literally the like extent to the thinking behind it.
And you hope Impact can, walk the tightrope in the top lane that he needs to play perfectly in order to carry this team. So I still think they're better than Dignitas, though. I still think they're better than Dignitas.
All right. Well, there you have it. Those are our picks for LCS, as well as our first team All-Pro and our 2 3s for rookie and MVP. A lot in the bag here for LCS. And then on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best season of LCS ever, 1 being the most forgetful one, and the studio burned down and caught on fire, and there is no more LCS. What do you rate this season? Regular season. Lots of change. Lots of things happened.
I mean, by LCS standards, I would rate this relatively high. Like, it's not going to match up with some of the nostalgia that we would have had, back in the day, but it's certainly probably the best split or most enjoyable split in a number of years now, I would say. Like, I've had more fun watching LCS than I probably have in the past 5 years. I don't know.
Yeah, pretty similar for me. Like, I would say this is like a 9 out of 10 LCS split for LCS.
That's right. Only didn't have the perfect split because they had the cage match. Are you ready for the face-off of the LCS?
No,
face to face, spitting on everyone right next to each other. Yeah. Causing hearing loss because there's so much white noise. You liked the face-off, Dom?
I think that the only thing that killed the hype of the league is the break. I think without the break, it would be like pretty much the best split of LCS conceivable.
Part of me thinks it's just because they didn't want to call it like a circuit or something, because that shit would be over so quickly. If they did it like continuously. Also the Valorant stuff. But what Monty said earlier, you could have started now. There were many ways to work around it without having a break that long.
I mean, you could also just do a triple round robin.
It's more games, more show days. It's more,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's crazy for like there to be like 21 games a team instead of 14. Before it was like 18 a team.
Yeah, but they don't want to spend the money to add additional days. That's the problem. Because
Yeah.
the thing is the real cost is not that having an extra game, because it wouldn't put most people into overtime. It's, so the 4 games probably cost about the same as 5 games from a production standpoint.
Yep.
It's that getting extra days costs significantly more money. Because then you have to bring all those people back in on more day rates. So that's
Yeah.
where the real cost is.
All right, guys. This was a long one, a almost 2-hour episode here, but we did it. A lot to recap as the LEC came back on in. We have playoffs kicking into gear here for LCS and playoff pushes for LCK and for LPL. If more news comes down the pipeline, we'll go ahead and cover it. Let me just because I'm sure the fans will want to know. Let me just throw out the softball, the Doublelift stuff. Dom, where do you land on this? What do you think? Yeah, how do you feel about this Doublelift TL Dodo Steve thing?
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's like the evidence was supposed to show me that Steve was working against or Dodo was working in the best interest of himself and not in the best interest of Steve as the GM. But none of the evidence that he showed me that Steve actually didn't agree with what Dodo was saying. Like Steve could have easily been like, "Yeah, Doublelift, you're my boy. Like, yeah, I hope you're shit. Oh, you're not on the team. Wait, Dodo didn't want you. Damn, bro, it didn't work out. Sucks, bro. I really would have loved for you to ruin another fucking split of mine on Team Liquid the way you did in spring of 2020, man. Like, fuck, sucks, dude."
Well, here's the other thing is that if they're getting the information that JoJo wants to play with Berserker, and all indications point to the fact that Berserker may have been exploring his options, and the most logical place for Berserker to go would be a team that needs an AD carry with a majority Korean-speaking roster. I wonder where he might have been going. So if JoJo wants to play with Berserker and Team Liquid was trying to get Berserker, and in order to also get JoJo, then why would they need Doublelift? Like, remind me why they would need him. Like, I think what's so wacky about this entire thing is like he assumes that, first off, it makes a big assumption that everyone is telling him the truth.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the biggest
Doublelift,
assumption.
have you ever thought that maybe Steve just doesn't want to get into some drama with you and was like, "Oh yeah, I'll just file that away, and yeah, we'll get you on Team Liquid. Yeah, okay, Double." Maybe they just didn't fucking want you and didn't want to tell you that to your face, Doublelift. Like, think about that one. It's pretty obvious. Do you really believe that Steve, the guy who GM'd Curse, right? Who is deeply involved in the day-to-day operations of the League of Legends team for Team Liquid. It is their premier team and has been for a number of years. They've had many good rosters across many good games, but on the whole of the Team Liquid arc, ever since Curse became Team Liquid and Steve got put into that position. And by the way, Steve doesn't deal with a lot of their Counter-Strike or Dota teams, which are the other kind of premier level teams that Team Liquid has historically had, because those are dealt with by the other co-CEO, Victor, who's in the Netherlands. So this has been Steve's primary team. So you really think that Dodo, the manager he's been working with for years, didn't tell him what was going on, and that if Dodo was not in communication with Steve, that Steve would not fire him? So let me present an alternative, much more believable theory for you, Doublelift, which is that they gave you the fucking runaround because they didn't want to tell you the truth to your face, and they didn't want to cause drama, and they were behind the scenes agreeing that they didn't want your ass on Team Liquid. And so now you're confused because they were telling you different things while being aligned behind the scenes. And by the way, it's not your God-given right to come back to Team Liquid either. Like, suck it up.
Well, I mean, it's also like if you're a JoJo, like, why would you ever want to play with Doublelift over Berserker? Like, if you are JoJo, you would always want to play. Like, any person in the league would rather play with Berserker over Doublelift, coming off last year, where it looks like Berserker is just by far the best AD carry in the region, and like Doublelift is like middle of the pack, maybe being generous, maybe middle, maybe sixth or something in terms of AD carry.
Yeah, he was like 5'6".
Yeah, I mean, it's just not. It's not something that is really. I mean, I feel like they just wanted to keep their options open, and that's why they kept Doublelift.
Of course.
Like,
Which is
just
what you
in the
do as a
conversation.
GM. Like, why would you close a conversation? Why would you ever do that? You would never do that. That was something that even I learned, and you just don't do that, and that's part of being a professional League of Legends player. That's also part of being a general manager. It's part of being an agent. Like everything's fluid. Everything's fluid in the off season.
Well,
So
I just want Doublelift to fucking make up his mind whether he's retired or not. Like, just tell me the following, Doublelift. Is there enough money in the scene to pay you what you want to get paid? Because you cannot make more money than you can make streaming. And you said during the off season that you were not going to take an offer because it wasn't worth your time for the amount of money you could receive in esports winter. So are you retired or are you not retired? Just answer that fucking question. Because like I don't even understand, if you are retired and there's not enough money, why are you complaining about not being on Team Liquid now in a theoretical universe where JoJo is also on Team Liquid, but that didn't fucking happen?
it was good content. Drove the numbers up.
I just don't get it.
I mean, it was pretty good content, to be
It
honest.
was great content.
It was.
Like people were probably like, "Who the fuck is Dodo?"
I mean, it's low key based as fuck from Dodo, being like, I will not. I will do anything. You have to fucking fire me, or I need to resign before Doublelift ends up on the team.
And he won. That's pretty badass.
Yeah, I mean, it's also just like, why would you think that he would feel the need to say that to JoJo?
Yeah.
What could JoJo want to have happen for Dodo to then have to feel like he needs to say that to get the point across? I don't know if JoJo wants to play with Doublelift, bro. I don't know.
It's also that every offseason, there's a bunch of conversations that happen around theoretical rosters, and then sometimes they happen, but most of the time they don't. And Doublelift should be used to this. He's been a pro long enough to know that he can't always get the teammates exactly that he wants on these rosters, or some people make different decisions. And at the end of the day, this was a decision that Team Liquid made. Why is this even a controversy?
Yeah.
Doublelift, did they offer you a contract? Because if the answer is no, there is no controversy here. They didn't want you on the team. That's what that means. That was a decision they made. It is their right to make that decision.
Also, just throw it out there. Dodo has been nothing but professional in all the interactions with me. Peter has been nothing but professional as well. To his credit, I've actually had some of the best interviews I think I've ever had with Peter in the last couple years. But when it comes to this kind of clash, and then you say you have the evidence, and then it doesn't really show anything there. That's kind of where I end up. Where do you end up on this stuff? Let us know in the comments below, because that's our show. Dom, what's your schedule in Germany? Is it just the same shit? Now it's just the background's going to be more or less lit?
Yep, pretty much.
Like right now, I can't even tell that you're not at home. It
Yep.
actually looks the same. You're just
because
in this
I've just been doing it for 8 hours straight, dGon. That's how this shit works.
Darkness in the back. All that's missing is the live, laugh, hate thing in the background.
And my whole day is completely fucking gone.
Yep. Monty, how about you, man? Where are people going to find you this week?
Same shit. Same shit. Release some more power rankings. That's what I'm going to do at some point. Spoiler: T1's not the best team in the world. Yep.
Really?
T1 at 3.
Why not?
Spoilers. T1 at
Do you
3.
not know that they won Worlds, Monty? Did you not remember?
Dude, I was mauling over the comments from my last power rankings where fans were telling me that because T1 won Worlds, that even though it was months later, that they were still the best team.
Yeah,
and they
who cares if they lost to Gen G twice? Why are they not the best team? It doesn't matter that Gen G just brutally shafted them, like absolutely disgustingly beat them down in a ridiculous fashion. Gen G beat their ass harder than Gen G beats the likes of like Nong Shim, for example, in that game one. It doesn't matter. You must have forgot that they won Worlds, Monty. You must have forgot.
Right. And they have to be better than all the Chinese teams because they beat all the Chinese teams at Worlds.
Beat all the Chinese teams. They
Yep.
did not stand a chance.
It's funny how
And
that
also-
logic just doesn't apply when you go into the power rankings for Worlds. After all the Chinese teams just beat the ass of all the LCK teams at MSI, you can't then go ahead and say like the Chinese teams are favored going into Worlds. That is a sin.
All right, well, we can't wait to see the comment section for your power rankings this week as well, Monty. I'll be at the studio covering the matches. I'll have interviews coming on out, including some that I have saved from earlier in the season, just as little snapshots. I think this has been a lot of fun season. Make sure to like and subscribe to this video and all of our channels across of all the different platforms that you consume. Last Free Nation content, Powers by content. We've got more esports stuff and culture stuff coming on out. I'm seeing a lot more of the TikTok stuff about the Avatar stuff, Monty, which has been
yeah, we're doing Dune 2 this week, and we're doing the Denis Villeneuve arc on Foreplay. So if you want to see other movies by that same director, follow along. We're doing Arrival first. Should be good.
It's the book club, but with videos, since we are not boomers. Make sure to come watch us over at Foreplay. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching, and we will catch you guys next week for more Power Spike. See ya.